Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another edition of the Ipec Forum. My name is Farai Mwakutuya, and I am your host. Now, in our previous edition of this podcast, we discussed Insurance Awareness Day by discussing the importance of insurance awareness, financial literacy, and inclusive insurance. Today, we are turning our attention to one of the most common forms of insurance, motor vehicle insurance. Now, every single day, hundreds of thousands of motorists are driving on Zimbabwean roads, yet many are still unclear about the different types of motor insurance, what they cover, and how they can protect themselves in the event of an accident. We'll also be discussing public passenger insurance, agricultural insurance through the Farmers Basket Initiative, and why insurance remains an important tool for protecting livelihoods. To help me unpack this and give you more insights, I'm joined by Mr. Kundai Jonga, who is a researcher at the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe. Mr. Jonga, it is a pleasure to have you on the Ipec Forum. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here, Farai. It's always a pleasure to be on such platforms and spreading awareness on insurance.
Fantastic. Let's start then. You talk about spreading awareness of insurance. Let's start with awareness of who the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe is. Maybe just a brief background of who you are.
Sure. So the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe, it's an association of short-term insurers and reinsurers in the country. So basically, short-term insurers are your non-life insurers, which are insurers that have policies that lapse. Unlike life insurance is expected to go beyond perhaps what we call a policy period. Unlike non-life insurance, where it's basically short-term policies that tend to lapse. Mm-hmm. So as the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe, we're the representative body, like I mentioned, of 21 insurers and 10 reinsurers. So as the representative body, we are the voice of the insurance sector. We basically advocate for policies to government that better the insurance sector. We also do a lot of research work as well, which is the Hattie way.
Yeah.
We do a lot of research work, researching on policies that can better the insurance environment. And also we serve as sort of a self-regulating body. We have a code of conduct, and we have a code of conduct and our code of ethics that we follow for our members. So this actually acts as some balance to ensure that there's fairness throughout the sector.
You mentioned the issue of research, so let's go straight into that. We know that obviously motor vehicle insurance is compulsory in Zimbabwe, yet many motorists don't fully understand it. First of all, let's look at what the different types of motor vehicle insurance they are.
Yeah, sure. So what we have, what we call what you would term the basic policy is your third-party insurance, which is governed by the Road Traffic Act. It's essentially the basic minimum insurance that a vehicle is required to have in order to be on the road. Mm-hmm. Yes. So this basically protects the public and other drivers from any liabilities that you might incur whilst you drive. For example, if you have an accident, instead of your normal handshake to say thank you, to say I'm sorry, but here's some money to pay for your accident or whatever liability has arisen, we actually have that recourse that's in the third party insurance policy. Mm-hmm. So basically, it allows you to go on the road. If you, for example, if you endanger the public and you have an accident, you run over a pedestrian, etc., it's there to protect the pedestrian. It's there to protect the third party. Unfortunately, this covered will not cover you in any way.
Indeed. So I'm driving, so it doesn't cover me, it covers the third parties
yes, the
that
third
I may
party.
have.
Yes, absolutely.
With. Okay. And the other forms?
Yeah. So the other form we have is also another form of third party, which what we call the full third party. It's basically third party that offers a little bit more cover than the stipulated statutory requirement on the RTA. Then we have third party fire and theft. In addition to protecting you from third-party liability that arises, it also protects your vehicle from theft and fire specifically. And then lastly, we also have what we call the comprehensive insurance. Comprehensive insurance is your policy that covers you and other road users and other third-party liabilities in the event of an accident.
Mm-hmm. Now, why is it that there's this lack of awareness?
I think the lack of awareness is it's mostly on us as the insurance council, as insurers. It's on us to educate the public, and it's something that we are looking to turn. You find that we have various initiatives. We have our 591 helpline, which is a one-stop helpline. It gives you emergency response mobilization in the event of an accident. It also gives you information on insurance and what is due to you in the event of an accident. So it's basically the number that you would call when you have an accident to alert the authorities, because it's integrated to the police. It's also integrated to any other emergency responders, ambulances, fire brigade, etc. So in the event of an accident, this line is there to help you. Not only are you informing the authorities, but we are also proactively starting the claims process. That means that once you've lodged with us, we know car reg ABC has had an accident. It's insured by XY insurer. So many people have been injured. We've referred X number of people. So the next stages in the claims will emanate from that initial contact.
Indeed. Another common and mostly talked about form of insurance is public passenger insurance. Could you tell us more about that one?
Yeah, sure. So public passenger insurance is another compulsory form of insurance. So this is an insurance mandated by all passenger faring vehicles to have. Mm-hmm. So essentially, this policy covers the passengers in the vehicle in the event of an accident. It covers them in the event that they are injured, permanently disabled, or killed. Mm-hmm. Yes. So once there's an accident and the vehicle demonstrates or shows that it has the insurance, then automatically the policy is activated and the claims process is initiated from there.
What determines how much I get if I was a passenger? Depends on the cover that the person has?
Yes, absolutely. So it's a statutory cover. All covers are stipulated in the Road Traffic Act, the limits of the covers thereof, etc. For example, if you look at disability, the disability cover will be calculated as a percentage of how disabled you are. For example, you may be 50% incapacitated as a result of an injury, so the payout thereof will be 50% of the sum insured or the prescribed amount as per the Road Traffic Act.
Okay. We have seen, and certainly I recall a number of occasions where there have been some of these very tragic road accidents, very major ones, where we've seen you as a council stepping in and making some of these payments where buses are involved and things like that. Why is it that you are doing that and the insurance of this bus company not doing it? Does it mean they were not insured?
Yeah, it's rather unfortunate that a lot of the times where we have to step in, it's because there is no active policy in place. It's unfortunate that some transport operators, they resort to trying to perhaps cut corners, cut costs by not taking up the policy. But the unfortunate thing is that you never actually avoid the risk. All you simply do is transfer the risk to the passengers who go on your vehicles. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what we do as the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe, we activate what we call an ex gratia payment. Mm-hmm. Ex gratia basically means out of goodwill and not that it's legally mandated. Mm-hmm. We do this to alleviate the strain and the pressure from the grieving relatives, from the injured road accident victims. So we do this as a way to alleviate them. It's part of our ESG journey as well. It's a strong S pillar, which is the social pillar, which is assisting the community and which is assisting people in times of grief, in times when there seems to be no recourse. That's when we step in with an ex gratia payment.
A couple of questions arising from that as well. I think the first one would be, how do we enforce this more effectively to make sure that every public service vehicle or passenger vehicle that's out there has the mandatory insurance?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to commend the efforts that are currently done. It's engraved in our law. For example, for a passenger faring vehicle, in order for it to get the operating permit, it actually needs to demonstrate that it has this particular passenger insurance. And also, we work closely with the Republic, the Zimbabwe Republic Police as well. They're also enforcers that help us by carrying out operations on the road. And it's an ongoing process, and it's a process that needs the play of everyone. We need to come in, as the insurers need to raise awareness on the importance, and also to incentivize the road transport operators on taking up this form of insurance by showing them the benefits, etc.
I think also what's important, and what was going to be my next question was, as passengers, I think there's also need to empower us to know that, you know what, if I get injured, because I can't count the number of times I've seen people getting injured in combis, for example.
Yes.
And then that's it. Ndakwaram kombi, you are left to your own devices. You have to pay for your own care and things like that. Yet there is something you can claim.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that happens a lot as well, where even the combi driver might not be aware of the extent to which the insurance covers the passengers. And so people take it in their stride, and yet it's on them. It's on us. It's on us as society. It's on us as the insurance council to step in and ensure that such people are protected in the event of an accident, that they receive the care and the claim payout that is due to them in the event of an accident.
Okay,
absolutely.
Putting myself in the position of a passenger that's on a vehicle that's been involved in an accident. Can I just come? Can I go straight? Where can I go if, for instance, maybe the vehicle owner or the company that's operating this may not be cooperative? Is there a place where I can go as a passenger and say, look, I was on this bus, I got injured. Are they insured? I want to claim.
Yes, absolutely. This is where we come in as the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe. Like I mentioned earlier, we have our helpline 591. You can lodge your query on this number. They can actually check sometimes you may not be aware whether the bus has insurance or not. And in some instances, like we've seen, people use fraudulent insurance, etc. So when you reach out to our call center, they will guide you step by step on the stages that you need to take to escalate your claim. For example, you have the reg number of the bus or the name of the bus operating company. From that, we can establish whether there is a valid insurance. And any claims payout that are due to you will be immediately initiated through our call center.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk a bit about something that is a very, some people call it a menace, but it's a feature. It's become a feature on our roads, unfortunately, and that is mshika-shika, pirate taxis. As a passenger, should I be getting on board one of those in the context of what we're talking about now? Should anything happen, am I covered?
Yeah, that is a very pertinent question. It's something that we mull a lot on in the sector and how we go by. Yeah, because if you look at it from one lens, the mshika-shika actually serves a purpose. They are there on the road to plug a gap in the transport sector. So in as much as some of them may be non-compliant and they are not mandated to actually carry passengers, etc., it's important for us to also acknowledge how they can come onto the main line, how they can get insurance, how they can better serve the communities, and how they can be roped into compliance, so that it's not always a cat and mouse with the police. Because I think a lot of the problems emanate from that, because a number of accidents have been reported as a result of these people trying to evade the law as well, of the mshika-shika trying to evade the law. So that also needs to be looked at from that lens. How can we rope them in? And also, as a passenger, it's on you to ensure that each time you board a vehicle, for the sake of transport, of course, it's important for you to ensure that, firstly, it is a prescribed vehicle in terms of ferrying passengers, which you usually see by the red and white plates or the inscriptions on the vehicle. So it's also your mandate to ensure that each time you're also being ferried by a vehicle that's mandated to do the same.
Fantastic. We need to take a break, but we'll come back and continue this discussion. We'll obviously now be discussing agricultural insurance and insurance for the informal sector, as well as for homes and households. Stay tuned. It is the Ipec Forum. We return shortly.
At the Insurance and Pensions Commission, Ipec, our job is simple: to protect your interests as consumers of insurance and pension products in Zimbabwe. Through our Client Service Charter, we commit to transparency, efficiency, and professionalism in every interaction with our stakeholders. What can you expect from us?
Prompt responses to your queries, fair handling of complaints, Clear communication about your rights and responsibilities.
Timely processing of all licensing applications.
Respect for your confidentiality.
We aim to respond to general inquiries within 3 working days and complex ones within 7 days. And complaints? We resolve most within 7 to 30 working days, depending on how detailed they are. What we expect from you.
Be respectful.
Give us complete information.
Please report any misconduct or corruption.
Check our website first, www.ipec.co.zw. Your answer might be right there.
And remember, we are here for you. You can reach us by phone, WhatsApp, email, or even walk into any of our offices in Harare or Bulawayo. Ipec, protecting the interests of insurance and pension consumers.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. It is the Ipec Forum. We continue our discussion here with Mr. Kundai Jonga. He is from the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe. Earlier, we were talking about motor vehicle insurance, one of the most common forms of insurance, but there are other forms of insurance that we want to get into now that are equally as important in terms of just day-to-day life and livelihoods in Zimbabwe. Number one is agricultural insurance. And I want to pick up on something called the Farmer's Basket Agricultural Insurance product, because there's been quite a lot of interest around that. Can you tell us about this and why agricultural insurance is important?
Thank you so much for that question. So, this is my forte. So looking at agriculture insurance, if you look at the evolution of how this came to be, if you look closely, if you look at the World Bank Country Climate Development Report, when they analyzed data patterns from 1902 to 1979, we had a drought 1 in every 10 seasons. But however, from 1980 to 2011, we've had a drought 1 in 4 seasons. And as we are all aware, this is a trend that continues to go on. For example, we look at the El Nino in the past couple of seasons, and another El Nino that possibly may come up in the next season. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it from the lens that we have 80% of our rural folk, they rely on rain-fed agriculture. Mm-hmm. So you find that in the event of a drought, they are impacted greatly. Mm-hmm. That their source of livelihood is lost. They do not have food to feed their kids, and there's no recourse due to them till the next probably planting season, or development partners come in with aid, etc. So this is something that that is engraved in our ESG journey, that we want to increase inclusion amongst such folk. The previously were uninsured or never been insured before, and the most vulnerable. So you find that this led to us, and alongside the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Finance, and our regulator Ipec, where we sat down with development partners and constructed what is known today as the Farmer's Basket Insurance. Mm-hmm. So basically, the Farmer's Basket Insurance is an index or parametric-based insurance. By index, what do we mean? We mean that an index insurance is set up in such a way that when rainfall levels, that's on the weather side, when rainfall levels are lower than is expected for what is a normal cropping season, the payout is automatically triggered. Mm-hmm. So it also, not only during the whole season, also tracks the crops at various stages, like the vegetative state, has it received enough water? The flowering stage, has there been enough water? And the Farmer's Basket also combines that with an index of the yield. That's a component of yield that is normally expected in a particular area. So if the average yields in that particular area fall below what is expected, another payout is triggered. So the beauty of the index product is, unlike normal insurance where you have to go door to door and assess each individual farm and see what has gone on during the season, and then assess the yield at the end of the season. You see that it's administratively burdensome and costly. Unlike on the index side, you can actually create what is called a unit area of insurance. For example, you know that in this ward, in a particular district,
They receive this amount of rainfall.
This ward received on average so much rainfall. So you have the picture of each small-scale farmer that might be in there without necessarily knocking on every door. Yes.
Let me ask you this. When I've heard about agricultural insurance, it's mostly been for commercial farmers. So I know a lot of tobacco farmers, they insure against hail and things like that. If I'm a smallholder, communal farmer, can I access these sort of products?
Yes, absolutely.
Is it affordable?
This is made specifically with smallholder farmers in mind, which is, like you said, usually commercial farms might make sense to go to the farm, do an assessment. But for this particular insurance, because it's index-based, we can cover a lot more people through each unit area of insurance that I mentioned earlier. So then you find that it is suited to them because we have got a lower administrative cost, and this insurance can be spread out to many more farmers. And if you look at the farmers basket, the assumption is that each farmer is a subsistence farmer and and there's a unit area that's smaller than 1 hectare or 1 acre on that line. So then the premium they pay will cover them in the event that they've lost production in the particular year. It will cover them enough to feed them and have enough money to replant the next season.
All right.
So it's a proactive trigger, unlike waiting for the season to end. When the rainfall, when we've established that the rainfall is below par, we can actually pay out at that particular moment, allowing the farmer to make amends. Sometimes the farmer may replant, or in some instances, when it's lost, the farmer can go and buy grain and ensure that he survives to the next season. Yeah.
And I know from previous episodes of this podcast, there have been communities that have actually benefited under this particular product. I want to turn my attention, obviously we've been speaking about crops, but we know as well that a significant number of people are also engaged in livestock. And when I hear livestock, we obviously think of cattle. And one of the big problems that we have in this country is January disease. Yes. Unfortunately, a lot of livestock is lost. And I remember a few years back visiting some farmers in particular areas. The guy had lost 35, of his herd. Are there any products that are targeted at that sort of farmer?
Yeah. At the moment, when you talk of the large-scale farmers, yes, there are products. There is indemnity insurance that speaks specifically to such losses. The indemnity insurance is structured on what they call named perils. So you actually name that perhaps it's going to be disease, it's going to be lack of food or less rainfall than expected, and then the policy is crafted along those lines. I'm glad to say that we have also piloted a product that caters to the small scale farmer. You're looking at the subsistence farmer that we talked about. Maybe he has a herd of 5 or 3 cattle. Last year we launched what we call the NDVI index insurance. So basically the NDVI index insurance is structured in such a way that a satellite observes the quality of fodder on the ground, the vegetative state on the ground. So obviously when there has been lower than expected rainfall, it's likely, in fact, would say it measures the greenness of the ground. So when there is no rainfall, it's likely to be to pick up signals that there has been that there is not enough fodder for the cattle to go to the next season. Yeah. So then, upon picking that up from the satellite, it automatically triggers a payment to the farmer. So it's a proactive policy. It allows the farmer to then buy feed and ensure that his livestock can go on to the next season. And as we speak right now, we are looking at ways to refine it, to also see how best we can include named perils for the small-scale farmers as well. That in addition, of course, that covers only the vegetative state. We also want to, because we know that people are worried about their cattle, the diseases they're exposed to, theft as well of livestock, and all those things. So we are also looking to see how the upcoming seasons, how we can build on this pilot product and make it a more comprehensive insurance product for small-scale livestock farmers.
All right, great. I mean, we've obviously focused now a lot on rural communities.
Yes.
In the cities as well, we also have people operating at a very micro, small and medium level.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it almost seems to be an annual thing where we hear at some of these operating sites where they operate from, some of these markets, fires break out, people lose their wares, things they're selling. I doubt that any of them are insured, but are there products that also look at that level of operator in the urban setup?
Yeah, I would say yes. We do have products on the market that actually speak to the MSME sector. As we are all aware, the MSME sector accounts for up to 60%, for upwards of 60% of the country's GDP. We have policies, the normal policies that you have. We have a business interruption policy, which is, for example, a fire has gutted out. Perhaps the fire has also triggered. But when the fire triggers the payout, you must remember that during that period, between you and getting a claim settlement, your business is not operating. So you have lost revenue, lost income. We also have policies that compensate for that. We have policies that compensate for public liability on business premises. For example, if I were to come to your business premises and I were to get injured there, the insurance would cover me in that particular instance. We also have stock loss insurance for when you lose your stock, theft, fire, and all the like. So we have products that actually speak to the MSME sector. But however, on the other hand, most of these products are born from the normal traditional products that were there. So you find that as insurers, it is our duty to ensure that we work and sort of panel beat these products, make the distribution better, increase awareness, seamless ways where people can get this insurance. These are things that we are continually looking into, working on, and seeing how we can enhance the insurance for this particular sector.
Do you think enough of that has been done? Because I think what you're speaking to now is innovation.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Moving, obviously, you're talking about technology and how it's working to look at areas and things like that. But beyond, as you're saying, panel beating, making these things tailor-made and to speak and resonate to this market. Do you think enough of that is being done?
Well, firstly, while I can't say enough has been done, a lot is being done in the background and in the front as well. You look at Ipec. Ipec recently rolled out their sandbox. So their sandbox is basically a safe environment in which tech solutions can be tested within the parameters that they set, obviously, within regulation, within the law, etc. And then you find that us as the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe, we also last month launched our Innovation Incubation Hub. So essentially we are calling on the young, smart people, tech savvy, programmers, coders, etc., to come on board on our Innovation Hub, come up with solutions that serve the market, and we see how best we can tailor them up to commercialization. So you find that the Innovation Hub serves to incubate the idea, pending it going onto Ipec's sandbox. So there's a lot of work being done, a lot more to be done as well.
So let me ask you this. Great sandboxes, incubation and things like that. To what extent are these ideas or products speaking or deriving from the market? I have a great idea, but maybe it's not what the market wants.
Yes, absolutely.
Are insurance companies going to Gazaland, Magaba, for instance, and saying, Imimi insurance, say, or is it the other way around where you think, we've got this great insurance product, let's take it to Gaza.
Truthfully speaking, there was a period where insurance products were crafted in the boardroom by actuaries and executives. That was trying to fit square pegs in round holes, because the perspective they see things is different from the perspective in which the risk bearer sees things. Which is why you find that we as at ICZ, we have our research function, and that is the core function that we operate in. Research means going on the ground, understanding the needs, and also plugging, seeing what the needs are, where the gaps are, and how best we can plug into those gaps and ensure that the whole process is seamless. Because it's important to consult the consumers when it comes to these products, as opposed to rolling out products to them that may not serve them their best interest at all.
Finally, any last message you'd like to leave with the public out there who might be watching this?
Yeah, so I would say that on motor insurance, the core of this matter, it's important for you to reach out to our call center 591 in the event of an accident to see what is due to you, how things can be ironed out, emergency response, insurance for any insurance matters, etc. And also, it's important for us all to have an appreciation of insurance and why it's in place. Insurance is us transferring the risk to the insurance company that we carry on a day-by-day basis. And it's important for us to get on board and ensure that as risk bearers, we unburden ourselves of that risk. Thank you.
Indeed. We must end the discussion here, but thank you so much to Mr. Kundai Jonga. He is the researcher at the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe, sharing some very important insights about insurance, the value and the importance, as well as the innovations that are taking place in that space and in that sphere. And that does it for this edition of the Ipec Forum. As always, we'd love to hear from you. Get in touch with us via our platforms. The contact details are on your screens right now. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what other topics or questions you might have so that we can cover them in future editions of this program. Until next time, it is Farai Mwakutuya saying bye for now.